I sort of feel like it's a little bit my responsibility to give a cynical perspective on love, since the other two guys did not. Alright, I'm not going to be entirely cynical, but I think love is this great, big, ugly, conglomerate monster of all of these different things which have the label of love. I think there are so many hang-ups about love being so grand, and I think we get caught up in it all. Despite this, I think there really are some, genuine poetic ways of using the term love, and there are truly some great things which are described as love. Basically, I think love is the epitome of having value for something. Saying I love X must at least mean I have great value for X. I think another important feeling which is also given the label love is this feeling of attachment, a feeling of a deep association and connection. Love can create a variety of feelings for a person. I'm trying to answer, what does it feel like? It feels, a sense of awe is one of the big sort of sensations which is associated with love. But because, like I was saying before, love is many different things with the same label, there are really different emotions which it can cause in people. In particular, like love for another person can mean, in many cases, that you are actually feeling like you have a greater value for that other person than for yourself. But in general, when we are sort of very conscious of our love for something, it's a very overwhelming feeling. I'm not sure how else to describe it. It's hard to describe any kind of emotion, really. So I really don't know what else to say about that. I'm interested in the question that you asked, Sophia, to whom do we love? Because it assumes that love is about loving another person. And I really don't share this idea. I'm not sure if you do, whether you did this deliberately or not. But I think that love is not restricted to other people. And perhaps it's really a different kind of love where we feel love for other people and we feel love for other things. But most notably for me, in the case of not having love but not for another person, is that I have a love of mathematics. And I really, really do. I love mathematics. It's one of the things that I have the greatest value for. I think that mathematics is extremely useful, has extreme benefit for humankind, and I love doing mathematics myself. But in terms of people, who do we love? Well, it really, really varies from person to person, but in general, we may have, our significant other that we love, and we also have our family and our friends, and also for people in general, and we feel love to varying degrees for those people, and we feel love for different people in different ways. Personally, and I said this in my 60-second me video that I made recently, I love human beings, and when I say that, I mean I have a love for people in general, just because they're people. I just I just have a value for other people, and I really do describe that as love. Uh, there is so much stuff in the world and in the universe, um, and a tiny, 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 tiny little fraction of that is people. And I love people because I have so much value uh, in that tiny, tiny little part of the universe. Um, it's so incredibly disproportionate. I value a person more than an entire galaxy. A galaxy is sort of nice to look at through a telescope, and I love astronomy too. I'm not trying to devalue that, but realistically, I mean, if I would say, am I going to choose whether this person is alive or whether this other galaxy exists? I'd probably choose that this person is alive. It may be a little bit hard to decide if I'm sort of considering whether there may be other life in that galaxy, but whatever, I'm not going to go into that. But, I have a love for people in general. This is, of course, not to say, however, that I value my family or my friends, or in the future a significant other, uh, in the same way that I value the general public. Of course not. I have a higher value for friends and family, just as a personal thing. I don't see that society should value them more than the next person on the street, but I value them more than the next person on the street. And I would certainly say that I love my family and my friends more than the next person on the street. But also, sort of in a different way, that I really, really care about what they think, and what they think of me and who they are. Whereas the next person on the street, what I love about them is just that they're a human being, and that there are other, human beings out there. I'm a human being, they're a human being, so I have a love for them. How does love grow and fall apart? I don't know. I think for infatuation, and sort of falling in love with another person, and that whole sort of thing, we